More on the crisis in Syria and the evacuations. I'm joined by Majid Rafizadeh. He is president of the International American Council and a scholar at Harvard University. He is joining us from a studio in California. In the past, you've been on this broadcast and talked about how the UNHCR has described this as one of the greatest humanitarian tragedies of our lifetime. And over the years, we've heard people saying that they were looking for a way out of this. They felt rather strongly that the international community wasn't doing enough. These evacuations pretty complex, a lot of moving pieces under the auspices of the UN and the International Red Cross. Is this finally a step in the right direction?
Well, I have to say that it's really impressive that they were able to conduct such an operation. You know, the logistic is very difficult. The coordination, there are a lot of challenges for coordination, and there are hostile territories that they have to pass. So I think it's very impressive that they were able to get together different countries, ICRC, United Nations, they come together and to evacuate people. But we have to put it in the larger picture too, Mike. They only were able, let's say, to move 423 people actually, to save the life of 423 people. But so far, more than 250,000 people, have been killed. There are millions of people are still living under bombing. So we have to look for a more comprehensive, really, plan to save people.
Well, to further what you're saying, some people are complaining, saying that they have concerns that this may be nothing more than an ethnic swap, moving Sunnis to more comfortable confines, and the same true for Shiite fighters. Do you see that as a possibility?
Well, I think it will be very complicated to do that, but it has some kind of ethnic dimension, I believe, because most of the people who were swapped, the Sunni went to Turkey and or Lebanon. Some of the Shia were moved to Shia part of Lebanon. So it could lead to some demographic changes, but I don't see other countries will allow this to happen, particularly neighboring countries like Turkey and Lebanon. They might agree to accept a few hundred people or a few thousand people, but they're not going to accept the whole population of Shia or a whole population of Sunni to come to their country. So no, I don't believe so.
Okay, Majid, I want to get your thoughts on some of the other developments. The U.S. claims that they've taken out some of these key ISIL leaders. Iraq claiming back land in Ramadi. They lost to ISIL in the past. And then, of course, these documents that Roy Ruttenberg was talking about, including Fatwa 64. I wanted to get your thoughts on the significance of these developments in just the last couple of days.
Well, I always put things in a really larger perspective. I think airstrikes, killing a couple of individuals, or taking some territories are not going to resolve the crisis in the region. We've seen it before. They score some victory, but ISIS come back and take the territories. But I think that I have always said that in order to resolve the threat of ISIS, they have to address the Syrian conflict. The Syrian conflict is like the disease, and ISIS and other extremist groups are the symptoms. You have to address the disease in order to eradicate the symptoms. But I think this kind of announcement is more political announcement to score points for leaders in Iraq or United States, but there are not really they're not going to lead to complete resolution to solve the conflict in the region.
What needs to be done?
Well, I started to believe that we have to apply R2P responsibility to protect, which aims at addressing international community's failure to stop crimes against humanity. And I think we can definitely argue that there are what's going on in Syria and what your reporter just described is crimes against humanity. We have systemic rape, sexual assaults, more than 250,000 people have been killed. So we have, I think the political leaders have to stop dragging their feet, and they have to apply R2P to send a coalition of United Nations forces inside Syria and stop the violence. Otherwise, I think this conflict is going to drag for years and years.
Peace talks could start again next month. Are you hopeful, or do you think it's just more of the same?
Mike, there are no really indications suggesting that it's going to be progress. Everything still is the same. The political gap between the groups are the same. The conflict is widened domestically. There is more, the regional Cold War between Iran on the one side and Saudi on the other side is also larger now. The international statement between Russia and United States still exists. So everything is a status quo. So there is really no indication that there is going to be any progress.
Majid,
and I'm sorry again to be so pessimistic.
Well, Majid, it's always a pleasure to have your views on our broadcast. We thank you for joining us from Burbank.